Okay, so this is from Pockets Pov, so we'll see what happens here. On Badlands. Okay, I'll pause a bit. Like, oh god, that's loud. Really loud. That's a bit better. So, first of all, on Badlands mid, Pockets, I don't know, Pocket just seems is so versatile. You can be passive, you can like start passive, you can start aggressive, you can start kind of like pseudo passive or like pseudo aggressive. Is a lot of options for you to do, and I don't know, a lot of the time, you know, there's not much you can do. The rollout's decided sometimes before you get there, and there's not really much you can do to either, like, you know, everything's either dead on your team or their team. Like, you can either, you know, be lucky to get out with the medic just as you get there, almost, or, you know, be even more lucky to just win the rollout as you get there. We'll have to see how this goes though, because I don't know, I personally like doing a fairly aggressive jump when I play Pocket. I know, well, for the most part, more aggressive jumps, just because, you know, if your demo is pushing across the point, then he's going to be doing good damage in their valley, but there's not always going to be, you know, the cleanup coming in from the scouts, because they're going to be, you know, often dealing with aggressive players, so often you and maybe your Roma are going to be the ones cleaning up those kills in their valley. So let's see what happens here. Hold on, I just gotta, is the stream actually working? I gotta double check that. Oh, it is, good. Okay, so I'm gonna play here. I got one. Okay, his demo's a bit slow. Not much can be done about that. Nope. That's the guy valley, yep, that's cool. What's he gonna do? You're gonna jump aggressively or passively? Lagging a bit. Okay, so just walking passively. You've already lost the player. Help him kill the aggressive player, that's cool. But now you need to back out. You got no rockets loaded, your team's not really doing anything. Yep. Just get out, protect your medic. That's an ambitious jump, but it worked. You really need to get out with your medic. There's no reason for you to be trying to brawl this. I mean, you're gonna trade soldier, but you're gonna... What? Yeah, there's players behind you. Like, well, the player was behind you the whole time. There's no reason to just stay there and try and dice roll and win the duel. Instead, you should have just got out with your medic. I mean, the rollout was pretty much screwed. As soon as you lost those two early players, you shouldn't have just tried to dice roll in that situation. I mean, there are times where you can, when the other team is like really low, out of ammo, bad position, but the other team were all over the point, and you guys had no position. And this intap's really annoying me. Okay, so your team's kind of holding forward. You lost two players. Who were those? I don't know what players those were. I'd assume like a soldier and a scout. I would be holding forward in this situation, like before they even cap Spire, because, you know, if you hold forward, you can force them to walk up Spire, and you want to buy time in this situation. You don't necessarily want to be trading kills. You want to more so be just buying time, and a really good way to do that is just holding the lobby. You know, demos sticking in the doors, you're holding the top left bats, and, you know, Roma top right. And if you do manage to get a pick, and then you send a scout forward to actually, you know, get something done, or you try and push off it, and, you know, force the Roma in a bad position. Okay, so cool forward sticky chop by your demo. You're kind of poking forward looking stickies, yeah, that's cool. I like this. You're actually fairly aggressive with your positioning, but you need to be careful. Oh, okay, that was interesting, Uber. You're not going to do nothing with this Uber. This is ambitious. I wouldn't trade in this situation at all. But get a kill? On what? And their combos at last. Okay. So you got really good position, you're gonna come and clean it up. Actually, that's surprising, it worked out really well. That the other team should have actually, you know, owned you there, but their Uber was really poor. But I don't know, like they just killed like what, 1 or 2 players with the Uber, and they didn't really get any time on the point. Like, look at the cap, it's like 10% capped. So I don't know. I'm not sure if your team's, because I can't see because it's not an STV, but it's either your team did really well in defending against that, or the other team kind of just threw their attack at you and it did nothing. I don't know. Either way, you have a slight Uber advantage, so are you going to try and use this, or are you going to just take the safe option and hold? Either decision is fine. I mean, if you catch them out, then it's great to... Okay, you got to pick. Now you should be actually thinking about trying to push Spire, especially since that's a scout. You know, it's less opportunity to back up, and, you know, scouts around Spire are really strong. Like, there's nothing wrong with trying to push here. But instead, you go for the trade, trying to get another pick. Okay, you got another pick. Well, you're still sitting on last here. You should be forward with your team. Like, your team's not getting healed, their team is. Like, you could be getting Spire here. Kind of just sitting idle, not really doing anything. Kind of letting your team just try and get kills. And your demo's getting picked there. Like, I don't know if your demo didn't call that, or you didn't react, but I heard it. I heard your demo getting shot, and I'd hope it was getting called by him. So, like, you know, help me lower. But, yeah, crits in here. Nice, quick early counter. Good tabs on the scouts by the medic. The whole team's, the whole other team's completely gonna die here, and now you really need to be thinking about pushing now. Instead, you're okay. So it looks like the player was called that coming last. Okay, now they lost like 5 players. There's no way near back up here. The only resistance will be near Spire. Yeah, and sure enough, you can hear spam gun on there, and you get the retake. Well, I don't know. It was, albeit it was a bit lucky, but it was played fairly well by your team. So you have Uber advantage now. They may have crits still, but there's no reason to. There's no problem with pushing in aggressively with you, though. And you got to pick, so you can be looking to push around now. Like, your team gets healed, then you can just push around even without Ubering. Like, you don't even need to Uber here. Like, there's going to be no resistance because they're down a player. Yeah, a bit of spam. Cool. Look how much damage you've done. Your medic Ubered for no reason. I guess it's a safe option, but their medic dies in the end. Like, I'm surprised that team didn't protect their medic very well. So the Uber was justified in the end, otherwise there was no reason, there was no damage, there was no incoming damage to your team. But, you know, it worked in the end, and you're too slow in pushing. Like, I guess you know there's a player behind, but, you know, you're spending too much time trying to deal with him when you could be pushing onto Spire. Okay, now you've got 2 picks, like, there's no reason for you to not, like, Zerg instantly. Looking for stickies, that's cool. You should be pushing straight into lobby here, let your team cap. Okay, helping the demo on Spire, that's fine. You should be pushing like aggressively now, but players come behind and kill your medic. Like, that's the thing, you guys sat around for too long, kind of just, instead of being like active, you were kind of just like, oh, should we push? Are we gonna push? What do we do with our push? It was kind of like really indecisive. Kind of just sat around for a bit, and you lost play as a result. You want to be decisive and fast with your pushes. You don't want to sit around and just bleh. But you get the last cap in the end. I don't even know what happened. Like, they just threw players at you and you managed to kill them. I mean, your team just had positioning. Like, you lost those players though. They shouldn't have died. And I'm seeing something about Batman. I agree entirely. Batman is the best. Okay, so Valley roll out again. We're gonna jump this time. Yep, jump towards the point. Score, unfortunately get denied, and you see a soldier lower. Gets killed, you should be like walking forward now. Yeah, no one's looking at you. Yep, jump if you have to. Looking for sneaky players. Okay, I mean, you didn't really do that much on the rollout, but you had all bases covered. I mean, you saw that soldier was lower, you shot a rocket or 2 at him, and then your scout helped him clean up, and you were just making sure that nothing else was around. And I don't know, that's not always needed, but I know sometimes you might need to. And wow, your scouts are really just owning the other team right now. Yeah, go straight into lobby. I like this. A scout should be capping right now, though. Like, those 2 scouts shouldn't have just chased in. One should have chased, and the other one should have just capped. Like, your combo's wasting so much time. You're just sitting here. I mean, you have massive Uber advantage, and you're just wasting time. You should just be going straight through main. You shouldn't be dropping that soldier there. But your scouts, once again, just owning them. I guess your soldier's just baiting the other team on the point, and your whole team comes in and clean them up. I don't know, it's just weird. Like, these kind of, some of these questionable decisions, I guess, are just turning out okay because your players are just owning them in DM. So Valley again. Are you going to jump a bit more aggressively this time and not get air stickied? That'd be nice. Getting air stickied isn't the most fun thing. Alright, a bit more of a passive jump towards the point. So they're in closet. That's kind of unfortunate. Your medic should have just spin faster. There's not really much you can do. I mean, you could have killed the soldier. That probably would have been a lot better, as opposed to you kind of just sitting around. Like, you need to be aware if they're all coming your closet, then you need to be aware for players that come low onto your medic, because, you know, your medic's coming from valley, he's walking up there. If something comes in from lower, he's going to get owned. I mean, I guess you could have had help too, but even so, you should have been more, I guess, mindful of that. Those aggressive players from lower. Okay, so you got massive uber disadvantage, unless I'm retarded and don't know who the medic is on the other team. And you're running a sniper. And never mind, your sniper just killed their med. So, awesome. And your sniper killed a scout. Like, you should just be pushing instantly. Like, leave your roamer with the scout. Yep, he's helping in house, that's cool. Now, there should be practically no way a backpack comes in. And that soldier comes in and plays lemmings too. So their whole team is playing lemmings, trying to get a miracle kick. I mean, your sniper dies, it's not a big deal. It was kind of his fault for being a bit too overextended. Like, there was a soldier behind and you were dealing with him. And you're going to get mid because your sniper got some really clutch picks and their whole team kind of just ran into you. Okay, so their med should have spawned by now. So you have massive advantage. You should be, like the demo's holding short, you should be looking to push through resop. Like, try and push through resop here, or really aggressive out the stairs and house. Shouldn't have lost that soldier, he shouldn't have died. But your demo gets 2 kills, how is this happening? Like, you should be aggressive here, you have uber advantage, like, they're close, just uber into them, don't hesitate. Like, you can't hesitate, like, your sniper's taking shots when you should just go in, there we go. You went in a bit too late, but, I mean, it worked in the end, because your sniper's just, like, doing so many headshots, my god. And yeah, you're gonna help try and get these players at reset. Yep, that's good, because no one else is doing it. You've got plenty of people on Inspire, there's nothing wrong with doing that. And now you're gonna regroup with your med. Just in time to hopefully protect him? You're so lucky, I mean... Okay, now you're not so lucky. Yeah, like, those little exchanges you had earlier, you needed to be more aware of how much ammo you had loaded. I mean... You went to deal with those players and you had, like, was it 1 shotgun or was it 0? Either way, anything less than like 3 or 4 is pretty bad. Obviously having full ammo loaded is ideal, but you need to be, you know, aware of, you know, just reloading your ammo at proper time. So, like, you know, wasting that shotgun there, that could be 1 extra shotgun that you could use later. I hope you actually reload it. Yeah, good. I mean, because what if, I don't know, you maybe needed that 1 shotgun shot? It just seems like a lot of the time there's just some wasted ammo. And they're being aggressive. I mean, you shouldn't, yeah. Okay, so your demo died? I don't know how he died there. That was pretty bad by him. You should be supporting your team around choke while, because I can hear there's aggressive plays going on. You should be supporting your team around choke while that happens, but your sniper kills the med again, so whatever. I don't know, this, like, the way you're playing shouldn't really be working. There's a soldier behind you on your med. Full air shot, the sniper kills him. Yeah, it's fine. You don't even really need to chase. If you get kills, it's cool, but just consolidate your positioning with your team and just regroup and then push as 6, excuse me. You should be like charging Uber here. You're kind of just doing nothing. Like, try and build up that Uber advantage. Their med died, but you know, Uber's probably going to be even now. And yeah, you're kind of just taking your time. Like, your medic should be pushing a lot more forward with you, and their demo dies again. Your sniper's just owning hard. Like, pushing the lobby here, their demo died. Like, there's going to be no resistance in here. Like, practically none. And like, go through main. Like, cut them off at last. There's no reason to be sitting around here. Like, just wasting time. Like, you're wasting your advantages. Like, look, you're kind of just sitting around looking. You walked into lobby when you could have literally walked through main to last and, like, baited the point, and your demo could have sticked it in and you would have got the point, but now the demo's up, so yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of wasted advantages right now. Okay, so Uber's like pretty close, and you're gonna multi top left. I'm pretty sure they have Uber. But no, it looks like they're gonna die. Oh no, the medic drops Uber, that was pretty bad. Maybe you just got it, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's good, walking on the point, making sure you're, yep, that's good. Like, use the last bit of the Uber to, you know, do as much damage as you can while getting on the point. That's really good, because your team was in a good position to you know, try and kill or damage players that walked on. And you just baited them all to the point. And like your demo owned them, like you got 2 kills. And then you just tapped. So yeah, it was fun. Apart from just, yeah, wasting advantages is just what I'm seeing right now. Like you, like against a good team, like how slow you are on pushing your advantages will just make you lose rounds. Okay, anyway, moving on. They're coming in your closet. You should be pushing across the point. Nah, you can't be sitting there. If their combos come in closet, you need to like push forward across the point and mirror. You can't fight them head on because you're going to be, like, at the start of it, you're technically at a positional disadvantage because you're on the point and then they're jumping up at you. So, you know, while they're in midair, unless you like hit every air shot ever, then you're technically at a positional disadvantage. But it looks like you're going to try and, you're not really going to accomplish anything here. You're just going to get a longer spawn time. I mean, I think maybe you thought maybe you could have gotten the med, but that's wishful thinking there. And yeah, see, now you're down a soldier and you can't defend Spire very well. I mean, you get a soldier, your roamer gets a nice pick on this, and my god, the sniper is just killing everything. Like this, like the other team shouldn't be allowing it to happen either. I guess they're just taking their time pushing their advantages also. They're just not very aggressive at the right times. It's like, oh, there's a sniper, let's just, I don't know, walk into him. But if I remember correctly, that's a med, so you should have like 60-70% room. Oh no, there he is. Yeah, just be a bit more, yeah, okay, you're looking for the scout under. Yep, make sure you know he's there. But keep an eye on the prize, which is at front. You don't want to be dropping down here. You want to be holding the position on the point. There's no reason for you to chase that kill, especially when you're on like 80 health leaving the Uber or whatever. Like, it's just not very good. Like, you can only really do stuff like that, like, you know, detach from the Uber like that and try and chase kills when, you know, you add like 200 health or, you know, close to 300. It just allows you to do so much more when you've got, you know, that full health exiting the Uber. Okay, so you should have Uber disadvantage unless I've been tracking wrong. And your sniper just keeps killing things. Soldier on. And their combos in house. Like, you should be... Oh my god. Your sniper just killing. And your med died. That's a bit unfortunate. And your sniper killed the scout. So that's fantastic. You should be like looking to push in here with your DM classes and try and, like, I don't know, kill their med or just kill their team or force their Uber. Because I'm pretty sure you're up like 1 player. Like, you should be a bit more aggressive here. Like, that's sort of a headshot. Like, Uber's gonna force here. Should do. Your movement there was pretty poor. You could have easily gotten into house and gotten the med kit.
Control point is being contested.
Okay, so you're following your Roma, they have Uber. Yeah, and that's cool. You're holding lobby, but your combo should be holding lobby, not just the demo. I mean, cool, you got a demo pick. Now you should be actually trying to do something with that. You shouldn't just sit on last. Especially with something as big as a demo pick, you shouldn't be sitting on last. You should be actively trying to, like, 1, force enemy team's Uber, or like 2, get the point, or 3, get more kills. Like, instead, it's, yeah, just wasted advantages again. I mean, sure, they have Uber, but their demo's down. That's a lot of damage potential kind of just gone. Another scout dead, so... Oh, you're gonna get Uber up in time, so that's kind of cool. And the sticky's alright, yep. Take your time to clear them, cool. Yeah, like, when those little aggressive moves are happening by your team, you should be, like, poking forward and spamming. Like, you know, your spam may be the difference between a kill or not. Instead, your scouts are kind of just like 1v10ing half the time. Okay, so... Aggressive Uber by okay. You should be, like, looking, yeah, on towards the point. You shouldn't have taken that damage. That was a bit unnecessary. Yeah, staying on the point, that's fine, because no one else is gonna... And your team's just bleeding players. I mean, Uber started okay, but you needed to, like, chase that soldier as he jumped... I think it was high left, I'll assume it was. Instead, you kind of sat up top right for a couple of seconds. You just wasted valuable seconds that you could have used, like, you know, tunneling the other soldier, make sure to minimize the damage of the Uber. Like, because it's not all about getting kills with the Uber or like killing the demo or something important like that. It's more about doing as much damage as you can while minimizing the damage that their Uber does. Okay, so they go in your closet again, and you do the same mistake of like going to your train and then backing off. So like you go to your train and then you go towards your choke. Like there's like no positioning for you there. You get the medic, that's kind of cool, but I don't know. It's just it seems like you don't know how to play against closet. If they're gonna go closet, like as soon as you see them going closet, you need to just I don't know, either literally like push underneath the point and go to their train and like mirror their rollout essentially, or just you know go up your side and then just push across the point and mirror it that way. But either way, you kind of got to mirror it. You can't, like, unless you get really lucky with shots, it's hard to like fight that rollout head on. You've got to kind of just mirror it, and well, it is hard, but it's not impossible to deal with it. I mean, if it was impossible to deal with, people would do it all the time. Oh, duh. Okay, so you have crits, and your sniper killed a soldier again, so you're looking to crits into them. Okay, cool, you get a scout. You've got so... okay, their team, they're wiped, so you should be pushing up to choke, like right now, and charging this crits while you're doing it. You shouldn't be capping, a scout should be doing this. Okay, yep, you're starting to cap, and now you should just be going forward. You shouldn't, yeah, you kind of just sat around for a bit there, no reason to. If you're not careful, your team can die here, because they all just spawn forward practically. Yeah, just take your time, heal up. Like, you should be calling it, you or your medic should be calling your team to kind of just back off a bit, getting heals, take your time. I mean, there's no reason for you to be super aggressive in here yet. Yeah, like, as a result, you're just sleek players. You should just be jumping away from this demo. Like, you should just rocket jumped away. There's no point for you to just stay there and try and fight. Like, you should have just rocket jumped away and your medic, like, you should have just said, you know, med back out, and you could have rocket jumped away. Like, you both could have lived there. But to be fair, at the same time, your team could have not died in mid. That was just bad. You shouldn't have just put, like, it was you or your meds, or whoever the main caller is, or demo, whoever, or pause, should have just, you know, said, you know, hey guys, we're low on health, you know, whatever. They've just spawned, so they're on full health, and they're going to be getting, like, crit heals, so we need to just take our time to get over heal. Obviously, don't put it in essay, just say, you know, guys, wait up, we've got to get healed, don't push. It's really simple. Whereas, it just looked like you guys were like, oh, you know, look, we can get the spawn camp on them, but you didn't get the spawn camp, and then you got owned, and now you're back on last again. And pushing off last is a bitch. Obviously, but... Anyway, moving on. Charging Uber, they have Uber, if I'm not mistaken, and their demo's down. Like, you should be poking forward again. Like, instead you're just kind of just sitting around. Okay, so they've Ubered in a bad position, I can hear it. My music's a bit loud, so I'm going to turn the in-game volume up a bit more. Yeah, you kind of just like let them walk in top right of it. No, sorry, there it wasn't forced. It just sounded like it. My mistake. It was just the domination sound. My bad. A lot of good kills getting traded. Your Roma did really well to survive there, but it doesn't really matter. Like there was a soldier in behind you guys. I mean, like when that demo was down, you should have been just like poking forward, trying to get picks or force a Aruba or whatever. Just try and get something. Like no matter the advantage, you got to try and use it. Like you can't just sit around and not use it, else it's just waste of time. Especially if you're like on last and you're at like uber disadvantage. If you don't try and use a small advantage like that, then you're just gonna be stuck there. It's just bad. Okay, so yep, they're going your closet again. You lose a couple players. And you should just be getting out with your med now. Like your med should just be running. And a couple of missed rockets, but you're gonna rape the demo. Nice shotguns. Okay, it's good that your scout's living here. You need to just play with him. Oh, that was unfortunate. That could have been one if your scout, well, if your medic hadn't taken so much damage before. Like scout soldier med can potentially win that if it's played well. But you will die, unfortunately, and at really differing times. So they have massive uber advantage, and your Gonna try and defend Spire.
Time has been added.
Like, you should be going lower left in that situation. It's the quickest way to Spire. See, look how long it's gonna take you to get here. Like, you're going high right, then you're going up these stairs, then you're going drop down side, then you're going left bats. Like, you could have just gone lower left straight into trash, or like lower left straight onto bats. Instead, just wasted time. But they've lost players again, and you should be looking to push this. Like, try and force Cerebro, try and get another kill, try and bully them. Like, you've got to use these advantages. Instead, you're just kind of being really passive. Instead, you're like trying to use like one player to try and use these advantages. You got to be using your whole team. You can't. It's not the time to be like making solo plays. It's the time to be pushing as a team. And there's a player at restart, so they're coming around. So they medic drop super. Yep, reload rockets. I mean, that was fine. I mean, it was kind of lucky that their medic dropped Uber, to be honest. So the med he does. Cool. Okay, new med needs health. Yep, take him back to house. Now you should just be pushing fast. Like, rocket jump. Just go forward. Like, charge Uber along the way. Do that by rocket jumping. Instead, you're charging the Uber at like the slowest possible rate. You know, if you're not careful, this Uber advantage could be wasted. I mean, you're losing players for no particular reason. Now it's going to be hard for you to go into lobby, and if the player's going to jump your med, it doesn't get your med, but if that was a good player, he could have killed your med, because, you know, the other team was 2 players up, and they could have sent, you know, 2 players to try and kill your medic. Instead, they only sent 1. Like, a good player probably would have killed your med there. And you have Uber now, like, I don't know, the other team's wasting their advantages a lot too. And you pick the scout, that's cool. You can actually, like, walk low right here, or, like, walk top right, because they've lost, like, 1 or 2 players that will, like, should be on the top right positioning. Like, that's a really good thing to do, but instead you're going to fight them head on top left. And you Ubered fairly late, that's kind of cool. What are you going to do here? You kind of just sit around waiting for a tab? Yep, check. Okay, cool. Looks like your team coordinated with that attack on the top right, but you didn't get any kills. I don't know, that Uber should have been delayed a bit more. There was like no incoming damage towards you guys. Instead, you kind of just Ubered in a bad position, and then they milked their Uber for like a couple more seconds after yours, and they were just able to do more. You got no kills. Like, you've got to just learn how to be efficient with Ubers. Like, get as much done as you can without, like, doing too much, if that makes sense. So, like, try and... it's hard to explain. I hope you get what I mean, though. Okay, scout in there. You should have been forward supporting a sniper. Like, yeah, okay, that scout does die. Now you can actually think about pushing it. Like, try and go low right. Like, I think that'd be good. Yeah, it looks like you're looking towards it. You're thinking about it? No. Okay, that's a bit of a disappointment. I mean, if you think about it, if you go low right, it's actually the place where you get the least spam, simply because there's typically only a soldier there and maybe a scout, whereas, you know, if you push lower, you almost always have the Uber early. Push top left, you almost always have the Uber early. Top right is kind of the same as low right, but there's a bit more distance to cover. And scout, like, yeah, you should be like trying to go top right now. Don't go top left again. Please don't. Okay, so they just Uber on the soldier and you guys are multing. You gotta be chasing kills, you can't be looking for that. Okay, so cool, someone baits the point. Double bait the point. Yeah, like, you could have jumped top right with that Uber. Like, maybe, like, if you wanted to do something like that, there's no point you and your demo standing, like, Uber's interlocked with just a soldier top left. Like, especially when they've Ubered after you, you're not gonna do anything, you're just gonna stand there and do a bit of a dance. Like, one of you should have tried to do something on the top right. Instead, you tried to do stuff on the top left when the only thing I was top left was an Ubered combo, and you did 0. Apart from look shiny. Okay, you should have been jumping there instead of spamming. Like, you were on 300. There was no reason for you to not jump after your Roma. Like, a second or 2 after him. Like, you should be jumping here. Like, there's no, like, you're just doing spam, but your sniper's killing everything, so that's Once again, cool. Chasing air shots, cool. Now you need rockets. Literally out of ammo. This is bad. Like, you need to be aware for like dropped guns on the floor, pick up ammo. Like, your demo picked up an ammo that he probably didn't need and you could have picked it up. Now you're probably going to waste time to get ammo. There's a soldier above you, yep. And you miss the ammo. Oh no, you don't. There's a scout behind you. What are you doing chasing forward? You should be helping your team behind. I mean, the kill gets secured, but what if it didn't? And now they're pushing into you. So like, you pushed forward to try and do a lot with the Uber. When, you know, they had Uber. Instead, like your team was split. Like, you were forward. Oh. Like, yeah, you were forward like here, where the crosshair is like facing right now. And your team was back, you know, near choke, the stairs. Like, you overextended hard. You were gonna have no support because they were dealing with the scout that was behind. Like, you just need to know your limits, your boundaries. In Ubers, like, you know, can I chase this kill? Like, is it good for me to chase this kill? You can't always be thinking about what's happening during the Uber. You got to think about what can happen, what will happen after the Uber. Like, post Uber is like, you know, almost, it's probably more important than the Uber, really. Well, it is more, I find it's more important. I could be, you know, it's a subjective thing. I feel personally like post Uber is better. I mean, you can do a lot with Uber, but it's only 8 seconds. You know, a lot of the time an Uber just involves taking a positioning. And they kind of just came in low left there. Like, no one saw it coming. Someone should have scouted that. Or you should have noticed, hey, they're not coming in. I mean, that's the bonus about holding lobby. Especially when you have disadvantage. You know, it actually allows you to keep track of where they're going to be pushing from. Instead, you guys kind of just defaulted top right at last, and they just surprised you by walking lower left, and no one was watching it, so you got owned. Okay, so they're not as aggressive there all this time. You kill the scout. Should be reloading rockets there. There's no reason, because like those players took like no damage from your rockets, so you should just reloaded another rocket. That's an interesting medic bind. Doesn't have enough ASCII penises in it though, to be honest. And that's 3-3. I mean, the main things I can comment on are just like wasted advantages. That's like the main thing. Like, so often you just had player advantage, or well, you know, mostly like a player advantage, and you wouldn't try and do anything about it, especially when you're stuck on last. Like, it's scary. It's like, ooh, it's last. If we lose this point, we lose the round. Yeah, that's cool, but you know, if you play it properly, cover all bases, then you won't get back out, and you've just got to try and use that advantage. If you don't, then yeah, you'll just be stuck there. And like doing spam, poking, whatever, anything like that when your players are trying to like make moves, be aggressive, is good. Like, as so often you were just sitting back instead of like, you know, trying to poke, trying to spam, trying to help. And like, it's just like expecting a team to kind of 1v6. I mean, like, there are players that can do that kind of thing, like go get the medic like 1v6 or whatever, but you know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, asking for, well, them asking for help or you providing help without them asking. Instead, you kind of just sat around a lot of the time.